I'm about to say something that will make the comment section explode. Now, don't come for me. NBA legend James Worthy said he'd rather guard Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Because Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid. Very stupid. And that one sentence explains everything about why this Bird versus Michael Jordan story is so legendary. Today we are reacting to the wildest Bird versus MJ moments, including the night Bird hit a game winner while double teamed by both MJ and Scottie Pippen. So, if MJ made you look slow, Bird made you look stupid. So, let's get right into it. Lock in.
NBA Hall of Famer James Worthy, who played against both Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, said, "I'd much rather play against Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid. Look, I'm not here."
No disrespect. I'm just speaking facts now. I'm not here to argue Bird versus Jordan. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to present the facts and let the legends who actually played against both of them tell the story. Because when the guys who guarded them say Bird was harder, you have to listen before you conclude.
To convince you that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan. I'll just present to you the facts.
Yeah.
And let the NBA legends who actually played against both of them tell you what they think.
Lock in.
People always ask me who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late great Mike Mitchell.
This is James Worthy breakdown though.
I always say Larry
Why
Bird
Bird was harder.
I say this for the reason because when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous.
So Worthy answers the question, who's the hardest player you ever had to guard? He names killers, Michael Jordan, Gervin, DRJ type problems. Then he says Larry Bird. And his explanation is the scary part. With MJ, when he passed the ball, he could rest for half a second. With Bird, when Bird passed the ball, he became more dangerous. Damn. I know in my previous videos I talk about how Bird analyzes the court, and before the ball gets to him, he knows where he's going to deliver. So the moment the ball gets to him, he doesn't keep the ball, he doesn't rest, he just delivers exactly where he has it in his brain that this ball is going to go to this direction. Or if he wants to move with it, he moves with it. So with MJ, he passed the ball, he could rest for half a second. With Bird, when Bird passed the ball, he became more dangerous. Because Bird will immediately be setting a screen, coming off a screen, relocating, rebounding, making the next fucking play. Damn.
He was either setting a pick, coming off a pick, catching the ball, passing the ball. So he was the one you always had to stay attentive to the whole 24 seconds of that offensive play for the.
Facts. You don't guard Bird for 6 seconds. You guard Bird for the full 24. If you had to guard one for a full game, Bird or Jordan, who are you choosing? Comment it now.
Celtics, and you know what? Oh, he's gonna get offensive rebounds. He was gonna do something to help his team have the best chance of scoring at that point. So I always say as him, he didn't need the basketball to affect the game.
To the untrained eye, Michael Jordan was light years better than Larry Bird simply because his scoring numbers were better. But in actuality, it was much closer than that because Bird affected the game in so many ways.
Facts.
I saw Larry Bird one night in Phoenix. They were losing big time at the half. And they come out in the third quarter, and Larry did not take a shot, but dominated the game. He had 7 assists in the third quarter, and they came back and won the game. He could affect the game without taking a shot. Who else can you say that about?
Nobody. It's just Larry.
Michael could never do that. Never. Michael had to have the ball.
Here's a 1986 magazine on the NBA. And remember, this is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson.
Now Heat 1986 Celtics vs Bulls. This is where the legend grows. Game 1. Jordan drops 49. Bird answers with a complete game. Points, assists, rebounds, steals. Celtic wins. Game 2. Jordan enters a different universe. He drops 63 in the playoffs, an all-time record at the time. And people say, that wasn't Jordan. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. Oh, God.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J. And in the league, with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best. Because in 1984, 1985, and 1986, Larry Bird won MVP back to back
To back.
And in the 1986 playoffs, Larry Bird finally faced Michael Jordan head to head.
Facts.
And in game 1, Michael dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory. By game 2, MJ had a revelation.
And this is game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
But he sure did try, because Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
Wow, that's crazy.
The game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it.
Yo, I need to see that again. What the hell? He did that right in front of Larry. That's crazy, bro. Look at that.
Jordan trying to
12 handles, bro.
Hits the jumper, but
Perfect.
Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan.
I know we started Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan hits it, 56 for Jordan, and that ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader. Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan.
63 points in the playoffs against Boston. But then the coldest part of the story happens. Bird walks away with the most important stats in basketball history. And the W, that's the win, 63 points, still L. And the Celtics go up 2-0.
Ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
But it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Damn, for Larry to say this.
Left with the most important statistic of all, the W.
Damn.
10 on the clock. Bird, pick and roll parry. Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0 lead over Chicago in their best-of-5.
The narrator basically says even though he dropped 63, they got swept. This is the most painful sentence in sports. Because imagine scoring 63 and the series still ends like, oh God. That's when you realize Jordan was the best talent. But Bird was a leading machine. Experience, spacing, IQ, and execution. Bro! That's tough, man.
Michael Jordan didn't beat Larry Bird. You showed Michael Jordan going between his legs one time in the highlights, against Larry Bird. And that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes. Yeah,
but if memory serves me correct, they got swept. No, not lost. They got swept. Okay.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
Larry Bird went on to win his 3rd championship that year.
And then the next year, they meet again. Jordan is still cooking, 30 plus points every fucking game. But Boston closes and sweeps again. Back-to-back years, Celtics sweep the Bulls with Jordan. So the debate gets spicy. If Jordan is the GOAT and early Jordan couldn't get past Bird, what does that make Bird?
And
Yeah.
the following year, when Larry faced MJ in the playoffs, it happened again.
Side. Larry Bird against Banks, rubs him around a Perry screen, drives it down the lane, and lays it in with a right hand. Michael Jordan with 30 points in this game, so he was 30 or better in all 3 playoff games. Bird's got 31 in the game and 14 in the 4th quarter. Bullseye. Boston has kept it in good hands in the fourth quarter. It's been Bird, and that's about it. Final score in Chicago Stadium. The Boston Celtics sweep the Bulls out 105-94. Too much Celtic talent, too much Celtic experience for a Bulls team lacking in both areas.
Yes, Larry Bird in back-to-back years swept Michael Jordan in the playoffs.
What does this make Bird? Not better, but it proves Bird was a problem Jordan couldn't solve yet.
So if Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird,
Never.
then what does that make Larry Bird? Now, to be fair, at that point, Michael Jordan didn't have his best teammate ever, Scottie Pippen, yet. When Scottie Pippen arrived, the battles were closer and more intense. And later in the video,
This was Jordan's best season, but Bird still gets him. Then comes 1988, statistically one of the craziest seasons ever. Jordan wins MVP. The point, scoring title, everything. They play 4 times. MJ gets a historic 50 piece in one game. But then Bird answers back too. One game Bird drops a monster line and blows MJ out. Another game Bird puts up a 44 and wins. So tell me.
You see exactly what happened when Larry Bird faced a prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Because Larry Bird did something so miraculously impressive, no other man in the history of basketball can say they've done. But after Bird swept Jordan back-to-back years in the playoffs, that very next year in 1988, Michael Jordan had statistically the best season ever, where he won the scoring title at 35 points per game, the steals title, the MVP, the defensive player of the year, the all-star game MVP, and the dunk contest. He faced Larry Bird 4 times that year.
4 times.
And this is how it went.
Damn.
Game 1, tough battle. Bird wins. Game 2, MJ has a historic 50-point game to win by 10. Game 3, Larry's revenge. After that previous loss, I'm sure Larry Bird had that rematch circled on his calendar. Because he ended up with 33, 8, and 7 and blew MJ out by 30 points.
So even at Jordan's peak athletic dominance of the 80s, Bird still finds a fucking way to win. If you ask me, Bird is the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT. MJ is the GOAT too, but Bird, that man was a beast. Jordan never beat Larry. He never beat Bird. Stats don't lie, everything. Imagine being the MVP and coming to meet a young player at his prime. What do you expect Bird to do? Jordan is in his prime and doing all this. Jordan never meets Larry. He never met Larry at his prime. Am I right? Yes, he never met him. So imagine if he had met Larry at his prime. Who do you think Jordan would be compared to Larry?
Game 4. MJ had an impressive performance with 39 points and 8 assists, but Larry Legend had 44 points and 10 rebounds, but most importantly, a win versus Michael Jordan in his statistically best season ever. And though Michael Jordan didn't face Bird again that year in the playoffs, Jordan did face Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons.
Isaiah Thomas in the 80s, he was a non-factor. Then Isaiah Thomas comes in with the most controversial take. He says, in the 80s, Jordan never beat Bird. Magic, Kareem, and Detroit beat him too. He calls Jordan a non-factor in the 80s. Oh, God.
And I'll let Isaiah Thomas tell you exactly how he recalls that year and the rest of the 80s.
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, the best year that he had was he was the MVP of the league and the defensive player of the year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
We 88. We beat them 4-1. I'm going to say that again. 4-1. They won one
May I
game,
respond?
Stephen A. And he never beat Larry Bird. He never beat Magic and Kareem. He never won. And all I'm saying is in the 80s, what I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia.
Now, this doesn't mean Jordan wasn't great. It means Jordan's dynasty version hadn't arrived yet. The league was still run by Celtics, Lakers, Pistons, and that era. You get it?
With Dr. J, Magic, Kareem, Burt, Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor.
Mm-hmm.
A non-factor. Is this your GOAT? But after Isaiah Thomas swept MJ, he did go on to beat Larry Bird in 6 games. And many people touted the Detroit defense for holding Larry Bird to under 20 points per game.
Yeah.
But what many don't include in that story is that Larry Bird was noticeably injured.
Yeah. Then we get a key contest people actually ignore. Bird's body started betraying him, bone spurs in both feet, surgeries, back problems. So when Detroit finally beats Boston, Bird is clearly not 100%. Yeah.
With painful bone spurs in both feet. So only because of injuries, for the first time in 5 seasons,
Damn.
Larry Bird would not make the NBA Finals.
That matters because this story isn't Bird fell off. It's Bird's body fell off. Bird's body fell apart, rather. And despite that, he still kept showing up against Jordan. Damn.
Starting the following year, Larry Bird had season-ending surgery on both feet after playing only 6 games.
That's crazy.
But sadly, it only got worse because that following offseason, Larry Bird broke his back.
Ouch,
and was
damn.
never the same again. But even as Larry Bird's entire body betrayed him, for some reason, he always played well against Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like he had a personal vendetta against Jordan. And
this is the moment that turns the rivalry into a movie. Young Collie Jordan is playing an exhibition versus Larry Bird and NBA stars. Jordan runs to chase a loose ball. Bird picks it up and instead of handing it to him, Bird kicks it over Jordan's head to the other end of the court.
I think I know why. When Michael Jordan was in college, he actually played an exhibition game against Larry Bird. Jordan and a bunch of college players, while preparing for the 1984 Olympics, faced Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA stars. The goal was to toughen the college kids up before they headed to the Olympics. So during pre-game warm-ups, when Jordan chased the loose ball to the other end of the court, Larry Bird picked the ball up. But instead of handing it to Jordan, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head to the opposite end of the court. And I guess you could say
that is the original welcome to the league disrespect. And you already know Jordan's brain went, oh, so that's how we're playing it. Bet. Jordan takes over the game, but in the long war, Bird kept haunting Jordan, especially in clutch moments. In clutch fucking moments, bro. With the injuries Bird had, he still... I don't know the beef he had with Jordan, but I think Jordan was like a competition for him. So he had to up his game. He had to up his standards. He had to live to his legacy. Bird's legacy, yeah. He had to live it up to make sure he don't let this kid overstep his boundaries where he was. And he don't let this kid beat him in any game because statistics has it that Jordan never beat Larry. And Larry wanted it to be kept that way. Yeah.
Hey, Michael Jordan took that personally.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Michael Jordan dominated that game. A young Michael Jordan actually carried a team full of college players past a prime Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA players.
Damn.
Michael Jordan won the battle, but Larry Bird won the war. I think Larry Bird took that loss personally because Jordan never really got the best of Larry Bird ever.
Now reach the moment I promised. Bird returns, not fully healthy, is facing prime Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Game is tied late. Boston has the ball, and Chicago puts two of the best wing defenders ever on Bird. That's scary. Jordan plus Pippen, double team. Everyone in the building knows the ball is going to Bird, and then Bird hits the jumper anyway.
Again, when Larry Bird finally returned to the court after missing basically an entire season with foot surgery and a back injury, he faced prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a regular season game.
Scary, bro.
The
Scary.
teams went back and forth.
Bagley against Paxson, 10 on the shot clock. Jordan on Bird. Quick feed into Jim Paxson for the layup. Larry Bird has KO the read. Jordan steal. Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk.
Oh, run it back. Damn.
Game. The teams went back and forth.
Bagley against Paxson, 10 on the shot clock. Jordan on Bird. Quick feed into Jim Paxson.
Damn, crazy, man.
Bird has KO the read. Jordan steal. Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk.
Oh. A game winner double teamed by Jordan and Pippen. That's not clutch. That's supernatural. Damn.
Bird against Pippen. Bird working on Pippen one-on-one. Hits the fadeaway.
And with 10 seconds to go, it was a tie game.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics had the ball, and the Bulls put their two best defenders, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, both on Larry Bird because everyone knows who the ball is going to.
Uh-huh.
And then this happened.
Let's see if they wind it all the way down. Inside Bird of 10 low, seconds. Bird low.
I think this game winner is a tough one.
Quickly. Bird's jumper, good.
Woo! Tough, man. Tough, man.
Seconds left. Larry Bird gives the Boston Celtics a 2-point lead. Everybody in this
With his back injury, he doing this, bro.
came over to help out. Celtics lead with 3.6.
Bro, Larry was a beast on the court, man. You can't tell me shit.
Game-winning shot while being double-teamed by both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, two of the best defenders of all time.
Supernatural.
Somehow the word clutch doesn't even begin to describe the greatness of Larry Bird when the game was on the line. But maybe a quote from NBA Hall of Fame coach, executive, and former player Pat Riley.
And then Pat Riley's quote lands like a final punch. If I need to shoot, if I need a shot to win a game, I take Jordan. If I need a shot to save my life, I take Larry Bird. Now, why will he say that? Why? That's the most serious compliment a basketball mind can give. Yes, because that means in the most pressure-filled moments, Bird's decision-making plus nerve was unmatched. Yes, if you'd ask me. Ball ain't got to Larry yet, but he knows where it's going to be. His IQ level at that point is over a million or infinite because I think Bird was like a superhuman or a robot on court, man, because I don't know how someone could play that much with so much intelligent quotient. Larry was a beast, man. Imagine what Pat Larry could say. If I need a shot to win a game, I take Jordan. If I need a shot to save my life, I take Larry Bird. That is epic. That is epic, bro.
And explain. In an interview, when comparing Larry Bird and Michael Jordan's clutchness, Pat Riley said this iconic quote: "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I
choose Michael Jordan.
If I had to choose a player to take a shot to
save my life, I choose Larry Bird."
As Larry Bird was on his last legs and Michael Jordan was starting his dynasty in 1991, Larry Bird mustered up enough strength to battle MJ.
Then we get 1991, late era Bird versus rising dynasty Michael Jordan. The game goes to overtime, then double overtime. Jordan hits a shot, but it doesn't count. 0.4 seconds. And after that, Bird goes on a run. Fadeaways, tough buckets, ice cold shots. Crowd chanting like, this guy is too much. And Boston wins. And then later, Jordan walks in like, it's a new sheriff in town, baby.
Yeah, in one of the last great duels between the two.
Gamble came up with the steal.
Here's Bird. Yes. He was met on a switch by Jordan, and there 69, Chicago 67. Jordan eluding a triple team. Reggie Lewis.
Damn.
Larry Bird.
Damn. That's tough, bro.
This battle between two all-time greats came down to the wire. In overtime, it was a tie game. 0.4 seconds on the clock, and the Chicago Bulls had the ball.
Pippen now will look to throw in. 0.4 of a second. And here it is, Jordan with the play. Yes! But it's
Damn.
waved off.
It's crazy, bro.
Mike Mathis said no. Did not beat the clock.
Ooh, he almost had it. After Jordan's possible game winner was waved off, Larry Bird, on 4 straight possessions in double overtime, did this.
Jordan.
It's great to hear all these coaches talk about they're really concerned as Bird hits a little fadeaway. They're really concerned about the minutes building up. They want to be fresh going into the playoffs until the game.
Overtime number 2. Bird. Yes. Larry Bird heating it out to go in the second overtime. Bird with the fake through.
Man, this game is competitive. Let's see that again.
Bird with the fake through the foul and hit.
Damn. Nah, we can actually see it's all about competition. Yeah, the competition here is intense. I mean, see these two old heads, man. Larry and Jordan. Yes, 2 legends in the game. Larry has it in mind that he has to defeat this kid by all means. This kid can't just come in here and defeat me for whatever reason he has, or whatever gameplay he knows how to perform, or whatever he knows how to do. But Larry always knows that he runs the court. Larry says, I run this court. Yes, this is my court, and everyone in it is my player. Yes.
45 to go in the second overtime. Bird fires. Yes.
Competition, man.
The crowd couldn't help but chant the name of the greatest player of all time.
Shook his head and said, this guy's too much.
And the chant of Larry. Lee Brown beat John Paxson off the pitch.
Damn. The competition in this game was mind blowing.
Overtime, and that will do it.
Damn.
The Boston Celtics in double overtime and defeated the Chicago Bulls 135 to 132 in a wild one.
The Celtics held on to win that game, but that year, Michael Jordan won his first championship versus Magic Johnson in the finals, and his dynasty had officially begun.
Damn.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says,
It's a new sheriff in town.
And we both hit each other.
And he wasn't lying. Jordan's ring era had officially just started. Yeah. It's a new sheriff in town. I wonder how Larry Fitz would have been that time, man. You know, imagine dominating back to back to back to back, and a kid just come in and he wants to overthrow you, just like a king that don't want to step out of royalty, and they do an election for a new leader and the king don't want to leave. But this isn't about election though. This is about Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. So with all the injuries and Larry aging, you know, a new king had to take his place. But we'll get to the part, the GOAT talk. In my conclusion.
Like, well, he's not lying.
Larry Bird retired after that next season, but not before he took the court with Michael Jordan one last time. Except this time, it would be on the same team in what many would call the greatest team ever assembled.
Yo!
Dream team.
Damn! Who would have imagined this would happen, man?
Patrick with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind the back save. Here's Bird. Yes.
Damn. So what makes this the best Bird versus Jordan story ever told? It's not Bird beat Jordan. It's not Jordan is better. It's deeper than that. It's the contest. Yes. Jordan was the ultimate solo weapon. Bird was the ultimate team destroyer. His IQ, his movement, his timing, pressure shots, and the craziest part, even when Bird was breaking down physically, he still had moments where he made the greatest athlete ever look human.
And you just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot after the great save by Michael Jordan.
Larry, I hear that you're retiring. Thank goodness. I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. Brought a lot of sad memories to me, but I enjoyed you tremendously. I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a very wonderful career, even though you probably ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics.
Who do you trust more for possession, Bird or Jordan? Drop your answer. And if you want the next video, tell me Bird versus Magic or Jordan versus Pistons. Subscribe, like, and if possible, share. But don't forget, if you want the next video, tell me Bird versus Magic or Jordan versus Pistons.
And I'll see you somewhere along the road, somewhere playing golf.
Thank you for watching.
He dropped 63. We stepped all in his ass. I rest my case.
Thank you all.